Your grand's garden held secrets that could revolutionize how you grow food today. Before supermarkets, British gardeners cultivated extraordinary heritage vegetables that survived harsh winters, stored for months without refrigeration, and delivered flavors that would shame modern varieties. These weren't just plants, they were edible insurance policies carefully selected over centuries to thrive in Britain's unpredictable climate. During wartime, these forgotten gems kept families alive when imports failed. Today, we're uncovering 15 remarkable vegetables your ancestors swore by, hardy survivors that modern gardeners desperately need to rediscover. Number 15. Roskoff pink onion. The Roskoff pink onion became a beloved staple in British gardens throughout the 19th century. British gardeners valued this variety for its exceptional storage qualities and distinctive sweet flavor that developed during the long growing season. These onions were planted in autumn and harvested the following summer, perfectly suited to the British climate. The pink-skinned bulbs could be stored for months without sprouting, providing essential flavor for winter cooking when fresh herbs were unavailable. Your grandparents appreciated the Roskoff's mild, sweet taste that didn't overpower delicate dishes. Unlike sharp, modern onions, these could be eaten raw in salads and cooked gently to bring out their natural sweetness. Traditional British gardeners would plat the dried onions and hang them in cool, dry places. The sight of these pink-tinged plats hanging in pantries were common in British homes, representing careful cultivation and the promise of flavorful meals ahead during the lean winter months. Number 14. Cottages kale. Cottages kale was the working-class hero of British vegetable gardens, providing essential nutrition throughout the harshest months. This incredibly hardy variety could survive temperatures that would kill other greens, making it invaluable for families who couldn't afford to lose crops to unexpected frosts. Unlike modern curly kale, Cottages kale had smooth, tender leaves with a mild, sweet flavor. The plants grew tall, often reaching 4 feet, and could be harvested continuously throughout winter by picking outer leaves while leaving the growing crown intact. Your nan and granddad knew that frost actually improved the flavor, making the leaves sweeter and more tender. This variety was essential during rationing, when fresh vegetables were scarce and expensive. Families would harvest it even in snow, bringing fresh nutrition to winter tables. The kale was typically added to hearty stews, bubble and squeak, or served simply boiled with bacon fat. Its ability to provide fresh greens from October through March made it absolutely indispensable for self-sufficient families. Number 13. Long red Surrey carrot. The long red Surrey carrot was a Victorian favourite that dominated British gardens for decades. These impressive carrots could grow up to 2 feet long with a distinctive red-orange colour and sweet, intense flavour that modern hybrids rarely match. Surrey gardeners originally developed this variety in the 1860s, selected for deep colour, excellent flavour, and superior storage qualities. The carrots were perfect for the heavy clay soils common in southern England, thriving in conditions that would challenge other varieties. Your granny valued these carrots for their exceptional keeping qualities. Properly stored in sand-filled boxes, they would remain fresh throughout winter, providing essential vitamins when other fresh produce was unavailable. The intense orange colour indicated high beta-carotene content. The long Surrey red was perfect for traditional British cooking, excellent roasted with Sunday joints, grated raw into salads or made into carrot puddings. Their natural sweetness and firm texture held beautifully in long-cooked stews. If you're enjoying learning about these forgotten British vegetables, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments which variety you'd most like to grow in your own garden. Number 12. Evesham Special Brussels Sprout. The Evesham Special Brussels Sprout was developed in the fertile Vale of Esham and became the gold standard for British sprout production. Unlike modern hybrid varieties bred for uniformity, these heritage sprouts were prized for their exceptional flavour and ability to withstand harsh British winters. These sprouts were notably sweeter and nuttier than today's commercial varieties, with a firm texture that held up beautifully in traditional British cooking methods. The plants were incredibly hardy, often improving in flavour after exposure to frost, which converted starches to sugars. Your grandparents would plant Evesham Special sprouts in late spring for Christmas harvest, timing planting so the sprouts would be ready for the festive season. The variety was valued because it produced sprouts over an extended period, allowing families to harvest fresh vegetables throughout winter. Traditional preparation involved minimal cooking, just a quick steam or boil to preserve the sweet, nutty flavour. Many families serve them simply with butter and black pepper. Number 11. Glass gem sweet corn. While glass gem corn originated in America, British gardeners developed cold-adapted strains that could reliably mature in our shorter growing season. These beautiful corn varieties produced ears with kernels in stunning arrays of colours: blues, purples, reds, and golds. British gardeners of the early 20th century grew these ornamental corns primarily for decoration and animal feed, but they also ground the dried kernels into nutritious flour for human consumption. The multicolored ears were often used in autumn displays, celebrating the harvest season. The variety was particularly valued during wartime when imported corn was unavailable. Families would dry the colorful ears and grind them in hand mills to make cornmeal for porridge, bread, and puddings. Different colored kernels contributed varying flavors and nutritional profiles. Your grandparents appreciated how these corns served multiple purposes, providing food, animal feed, and autumn decoration from a single crop. The plants were relatively tolerant of Britain's cool, damp summers. Number 10. Black Spanish Radish. The black Spanish radish was a winter staple in British gardens, providing fresh, peppery nutrition during the coldest months when other vegetables had finished. These large, black-skinned roots could grow to the size of turnips and were incredibly hardy, surviving in the ground through severe frosts. Unlike the small, mild radishes common today, black Spanish radishes had an intense, fiery flavor that could clear the sinuses and stimulate appetite during dreary winter months. The white flesh beneath the black skin was crisp and juicy, perfect for grating into salads. Your grandparents knew these radishes were excellent for digestion and often served them at the beginning of heavy meals. They were particularly popular during the Christmas season, providing a sharp contrast to rich foods. The radishes could be stored in root cellars for months. Traditional preparation involved peeling away the black skin to reveal the pure white flesh. They were often served simply with coarse salt and brown bread. Number 9. Champion of England Pea. The Champion of England pea was considered the finest flavoured pea variety available to British gardeners for over a century. Introduced in 1843, this tall-growing variety became the standard by which all other peas were measured, prized for its exceptional sweet, tender pods and remarkable productivity. These peas grew up to 6 feet tall, requiring sturdy support, but rewarded gardeners with enormous yields of the sweetest peas imaginable. The variety was particularly valued for its extended harvest period. Pods could be picked continuously for weeks. Your gran and grandpa treasured Champion of England peas for their superior flavor that needed no enhancement. Unlike modern peas bred for processing, these were best eaten fresh from the pod, often consumed raw while working in the garden. The sweetness was so pronounced that children would treat them like sweets. The variety was also excellent for drying, providing protein-rich pulse crops for winter soups. During rationing, dried peas became an important protein source. Number 8. Long white trailing marrow. The long white trailing marrow was a garden workhorse that could feed a family for weeks from just a few plants. These enormous marrows could grow to 3 feet long and weigh over 20 pounds, making them incredibly valuable for families needing maximum nutrition from limited garden space. Unlike modern courgettes bred for continuous harvesting of small fruits, these marrows were grown for storage. A single mature marrow could provide multiple meals, and they stored well through winter when kept in cool, dry conditions. Your grandparents valued these marrows for their ability to stretch meat dishes during lean times. They could be stuffed with leftover meats and vegetables, made into hearty soups, or even used in sweet preparations like marrow jam. The flowers were also edible, often stuffed and fried. The trailing habit made them perfect for growing over fences or sheds, maximizing garden space. A single plant could produce multiple marrows, and their reliability made them essential for subsistence gardening. Number 7. Red drumhead cabbage. Red drumhead cabbage was the storage champion of British gardens, capable of lasting through entire winters when properly prepared. These massive cabbages, often weighing 10 to 15 pounds, had dense, deep purple-red heads that developed incredible sweetness after light frosts. The variety was specifically bred for long storage, with tight heads that resisted splitting and thick outer leaves that protected the inner core. Unlike modern cabbages bred for quick growth, red drumhead developed slowly, concentrating flavors and developing dense structure necessary for winter keeping. Your grandparents relied on these cabbages as a primary source of fresh vegetables during winter months. They were essential for making sauerkraut, a fermented preservation method that provided probiotics and vitamin C when fresh fruit was unavailable. Traditional preparation involved removing outer leaves gradually throughout winter, always leaving the core intact to prevent spoilage. The cabbages were often stored in root cellars, wrapped in newspaper, or hung in cool sheds. Number 6. Yellow intermediate carrot. Yellow intermediate carrots were perfectly adapted to British growing conditions, thriving in the heavy soils that challenged other varieties. These bright yellow roots had a distinctive sweet, almost parsnip-like flavor that was prized for both cooking and storage throughout winter months. The variety was particularly valued for its reliability in difficult growing seasons. While orange carrots might fail in clay soil or wet summers, yellow intermediate consistently produced good crops, making them essential for families depending on their gardens for food security. Your grandparents appreciated these carrots for their versatility in traditional British cooking. They were excellent roasted with beef, made wonderful soups, and could be used in both sweet and savory preparations. The yellow color indicated high carotenoid content, making them particularly nutritious. The carrots stored exceptionally well in sand-filled boxes or root cellars, maintaining their crisp texture and sweet flavour for months. Before we continue with our remaining heritage vegetables, please subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Now let's get going. Number 5. The Alyssa Craig onion. The Alyssa Craig onion, named after the Scottish island, became legendary among British gardeners for producing the largest, mildest onions imaginable. These show-stopping bulbs could weigh several pounds each and had such a sweet, gentle flavour that they could be eaten raw like apples. Developed in the late 1800s, this variety quickly became the standard for exhibition onions at British agricultural shows. However, beyond their impressive size, Alyssa Craig onions were prized by home gardeners for their exceptional flavour and cooking qualities. Your grandparents valued these onions for their mild sweetness that wouldn't overpower delicate sauces and soups. They were particularly prized for making liver and onions, where their gentle flavour complemented rather than competed with the meat. The variety required a long growing season and careful cultivation, making successfully grown Alyssa Craig onions a point of pride for British gardeners. They were often started from seed in heated greenhouses, then transplanted outside after the last frost. Number 4. Hollow crown parsnip. Hollow crown parsnips were the aristocrats of the British root cellar, developing incredible sweetness after winter frosts converted their starches to sugars. These long, white roots were essential for traditional British cooking, providing the sweet, nutty flavour that made parsnips a beloved winter vegetable. The variety was specifically selected for its superior flavour and the characteristic hollow crown that indicated proper maturity. Unlike modern hybrids bred for uniform size, hollow crown parsnips varied in shape but consistently delivered exceptional taste that improved throughout the winter. Your grandparents knew that parsnips left in the ground through winter developed flavours impossible to achieve through storage. They would dig them as needed, even through snow, knowing that each frost improved their sweetness. Traditional preparation involved roasting them alongside beef, where their natural sugars would caramelise beautifully. They were also essential for traditional British soups and stews, adding natural sweetness that balanced savoury flavours perfectly. Number 3. Bedfordshire Black Broad Bean. Bedfordshire Black Broad Beans were renowned throughout Britain for their exceptional flavour and remarkable productivity. These distinctive beans had deep purple-black pods containing large, meaty beans with a rich, nutty taste that surpassed any modern variety for culinary quality. The variety was particularly valued for its reliability in British growing conditions. Unlike modern broad beans that can struggle in cold, wet springs, Bedfordshire Black consistently produced heavy crops even in challenging weather, making them essential for families relying on garden produce. Your grandparents treasured these beans for their superior flavour when eaten fresh, but they were equally valuable dried for winter protein. Number 2. Jenny Lind Melon. Jenny Lind melons were the pride of Victorian British glasshouses, producing small, intensely flavoured fruits that were considered the finest melons possible in the British climate. Named after the famous Swedish opera singer, these netted melons had incredibly sweet, aromatic flesh that rivaled any tropical fruit. British gardeners grew these melons under glass or in hotbeds, carefully managing heat and humidity to coax the best flavour from each fruit. The small size, typically weighing 1 to 2 pounds, concentrated the flavour, making each melon an intense burst of sweetness. Your nanny and grandad considered successfully growing Jenny Lind melons the mark of an accomplished gardener. The variety required careful attention to temperature, watering, and ventilation, but rewarded skilled growers with fruits of exceptional quality that were prized for special occasions. The melons were traditionally served at the end of elaborate meals, often with port wine or sherry. Their intense sweetness and complex flavour made them a luxury that justified the effort required. Number 1. Myatt's Early Horn Carrot. Myatt's Early Horn Carrot holds the distinction of being one of the first improved carrot varieties developed specifically for British conditions. Created in the 1830s, this short, blunt-rooted carrot was perfect for shallow soils and container growing, making it accessible to urban gardeners with limited space. The variety was revolutionary because it could be grown successfully in heavy clay soils that defeated longer-rooted varieties. This made fresh carrots available to working-class families who previously couldn't grow them in their small, often poor-quality garden plots behind terraced houses. Your nan and grandad valued Myatt's Early Horn for its reliability and quick maturation. The carrots could be ready in 60 days, providing fresh vegetables earlier than any other root crop. Their sweet, tender texture made them perfect for eating raw or cooking quickly. The short, chunky shape made them ideal for forcing in cold frames during winter, extending the growing season and providing fresh carrots when stored roots were becoming tired. These 15 forgotten vegetables represent centuries of careful selection and cultivation by British gardeners who understood that diversity in the garden meant security on the table. Each variety was chosen not just for productivity, but for flavour, storage qualities, and adaptation to British growing conditions. Which of these heritage British vegetables would you most like to try growing? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos about traditional British gardening and forgotten food varieties that deserve a place in modern gardens.